Good morning. It's the Monday Morning Show. I'm your host, Lokito. Today's topic is 420. Okay, thank you. I'd like to say thank you to everybody for watching the show. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the show. Like I've said before, the shows I do, they're just meant to be funny. They're meant to make you laugh. I hope you can learn something from the show. Um, yeah, I hope you can learn something from the show. But the most important thing is I hope you laugh because I feel like there's a lot of sad news out there, and sometimes we just need to turn something on, listen, or watch something that makes us laugh, makes us smile. Because I know that's what I like to do. I like to watch funny stuff on the internet. I like Ricky Gervais. He's somebody that really inspires me. Um, but okay, back to the topic. Like I said, today's topic is 420. It was just 420 a week or two ago. Excuse me. So it kind of got me the idea to, hey, maybe I should talk about 420. Not that I don't smoke weed. I used to. I used to smoke weed, of course, like everybody used to smoke weed when I was younger. I don't do it anymore because it started to give me like really bad anxiety. I'm sure you've heard this before. Other people, the same thing happens too. And it made me like really lazy. And I realized like I wanted to still smoke weed because it's something I had done for a while, and a lot of my friends did it. But I realized when I smoked weed, it just made me like sit around, really lazy, not do anything, and it started to make me feel like not good. So I was like, I can't do this anymore. And but I don't have anything against people that smoke weed. If you do it and it makes you feel relaxed or makes you feel better, fine with me. I don't think I don't think there's anything terrible about marijuana. I wouldn't encourage it, but I don't I'm not against it. By all means. I mean, a lot of people I know are potheads, quote unquote. The one thing I have to say I don't like is I don't, if you smoke weed, that's fine, but I don't want to hear about it. The thing I don't like is these people that, a lot of young people that oh yeah, smoke weed. Yeah. All right, you smoke weed, fine. I ain't got a problem with it, but I don't want to hear about it. All right. I don't need to hear about you and rolling this and this kind of flavor and this vaporizer. I don't want to hear it. So keep it to yourself. All right, but like I said, today's topic is 420 because I think it'll be a good show because I got some funny stuff to talk about. So please stay tuned and keep on listening because the show will improve. Okay, let's just do a quick. Sorry about the cord there. I'm not what they would call professional. Can we see okay? Okay. Let's like what I like to do with most of my topics is I like to give sorry about the chord. I feel like it's like a dun 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 dun. Dun. All right, let's do a quick search and a quick history. Alright, 420 is a code term that refers to the consumption of cannabis and by extension as a way to identify oneself with the cannabis subculture. So it's saying 420 is also used in reference to April 20th or also 4:20 p.m. Well, let's look at the origins. Let's look at how it. I'm trying to talk into the mic and read at the same time. I probably should have set this up better. Okay, Origins. Wolverine Origins. Good movie. Okay. I keep hearing these freaking weird sounds in the background. It's probably, we have some animals. It's probably the animals. If you hear anything weird going on in the background, it's not somebody I have locked up in the basement. It's probably one of the animals. Quote unquote. Okay, a group of people in California calling themselves the Waldos. I think that's what they're called. They chose this name because their hangout spot was a wall outside the school. So what? I guess they had a plan to search for an abandoned cannabis crop that they had learned about, and they had a meeting place outside the school, and they would meet at 4:20 p.m. And then eventually, 4:20 was their meeting time, and it eventually turned into a code word that they would use to mean like marijuana, smoking in general. Mike Edison says that Stephen Hager of High Times was responsible for taking the story to cult-like extremes. So I guess he must have talked about it in the magazine. And he attributes the spread of the phrase to Grateful Dead followers who were linked to the to California and linked to the Waldos, apparently. But 420 has become a counterculture holiday in North America where people gather to celebrate and consume cannabis. Impact. Let's look at here's the impact that it had. In Colorado, Department of Transportation replaced a sign that was stolen all the time. It got stolen all the time, and it was the mile marker 420 sign on the east of Denver highway. So it was a sign that said 420, and everybody, it seems like there's a lot of stoners in Denver, snowboarding, stoners. And so they're always stealing the sign, so they replaced it with a sign. Instead of saying 420, the sign said 419.99, which is a little weird. 419.99. That's a kind of a weird sign to see in the highway. I would think. Okay, I'm gonna give you some quick 420 facts or myths. So as I'm reading it, try to think: is this a fact or is this a myth? All right, let's get started here. Okay, 420 is National Pot Smokers Day. Is that a fact or a myth? Well, I'll tell you what. It's something I always thought was true, but I was wrong. It's a myth. It is a myth. It's symbolizes pot smoking day, but it is not actually a national day yet. But if we put in the time and effort, we can make a change. We can make it change. Maybe I should start a movement to make it national holiday. Well, I don't know about national holiday, but you know what I mean. Okay. In Ontario, Canada, in the 60s, marijuana grew freely on one of the highways. This highway was later renamed in 1972 as Highway 420. Is that a fact or fiction? Dun 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 dun. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a fact. They did rename the highway. Okay, which means people in Canada are pretty cool. Who knew? Okay, the number 420 um, is a police dispatch code for smoking pot. Is that a fact or fiction? Dun 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 dun. Fiction. Obviously. Okay. Let's look here. There are approximately 420 active chemicals in marijuana. Is that a fact or fiction? Dun 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 dun. Fiction. There are approximately 315 active chemicals in the plant known as marijuana. Okay, if you want, like I said, I'm not for marijuana. I'm not against it. I'm not one way or the other. I'm in the middle. I don't care. You smoke, it's fine. But, some people don't want their kids to smoke. And you can send them to dare classes. You can, try to, do all this weird stuff. But I think the best medicine for a parent, I like to talk on this show, and I always like to give some advice. Excuse me. So here's my advice part of the show. If you have a young adult and you feel like they might be smoking marijuana, or they might thinking about trying it soon, and you want to say, hey, let me show you, listen to this guy. If you smoke a lot of marijuana, you can end up like this guy. And here's a quick sample of something I think you should show your kids. If you really want to show them what marijuana does to you, don't show them a stupid, picture with, meatballs and spaghetti all over the brain. Let them listen to this and tell them, hey, if you smoke a lot of marijuana, you could end up sounding like this guy. So, here you go.
I would change the prices of gas, of course, bring them down to what it was. And like years ago, what it was when my grandma was living. And I would put cocaine back in Coca-Cola, because they took it out. I put that back. And think I get loved for that. I take off all banned substances from sports, so there'd be no more steroid. You could use whatever steroid or hormone growth you want, as long as you're hitting home runs. It's fine with me. And I would make prostitution legal in about 5 more states. Gambling too. If I would legalize weed first and second. And I put a law to it. There's no more child support, and there's no more like what they call that stuff when you get married, the little prenup. You ain't got to sign that because she don't get nothing. Period. Like, I would make it like just because she married you, that don't mean nothing. Cause she laid with you for some years, she gotta get something. I've been laying with another bitch too these whole time. She don't get shit.
All right, so that was Lil Wayne, in an interview, and obviously he's doing a lot more than just 420, but I thought that was just a funny clip, so that's why I played it. All right, let's go to since this is the episode about 420, let me just do some quick famous people that have been arrested in relation to 420. The world famous country singer and the world famous country singer Willie Nelson in 2006 was busted at the Texas border for possession of 1.5 pounds of marijuana and several ounces of mushrooms. Fined, fined just over $1,000 and placed on probation for 6 months. It could have been a lot worse, obviously. If you could have that much on you, sounds like it should be worse. But apparently he has smart band members because the amounts of drugs they found was enough for a felony possession if it was one person. But the all five of the band members, they all claimed little bits. This was mine, that was mine. So it wasn't as bad because obviously Willie Nelson's band is prepared for that situation. That's what I would assume. Okay, guys, if the cops come and try to pull us over, you take the mushrooms, you take the weed, I'll take the pills, and then we'll say that it's everybody's, okay? Alright, guys, you want to be in my band, you gotta take the rap with me, alright? I'm Willie Nelson. I'm 75 years old, and I'm still tripping on mushrooms. I like to see lollipops in the sky. Oh, yeah. Alright, who wants to hear a tune? I'm sitting on my boat, fishing, yeah. Alright, sorry, that's my Willie Nelson impression. Alright, okay, 1969, officers raided the London home of George Harrison and arrested him for marijuana possession. The arrest forced him to miss the wedding of Paul and Linda McCartney. He pled guilty and was fined £250. So he missed his friend's wedding. That see, marijuana's bad. You could miss Paul McCartney's wedding. Okay. In Rochester, Bowie, Iggy Pop, and a few other people were arrested at the flagship Americano Hotel for the possession of marijuana. Bowie posted everyone's bail, $2,000 per person, and that's about it. But Bowie reassured the press, "Rest assured, the stuff was not mine. I can't say much more, but it did belong to others in the room, but it didn't belong to me. Bloody potheads. What a dreadful irony. Me popped for grass? The stuff sickens me. I haven't touched it in a decade." Believable? I mean, he sounds like a believable guy, right? Okay, let's go. In 2002, the legendary singer was detained at the Miami International Airport when about a dozen joints were found in her bag. The charges were dropped after she agreed to do public service announcements warning against illegal drug use. That was Dionne Warwick? Who the hell is that? Alright, try to figure out who this is. What celebrity this is. After word got out about the incident in Hawaii, some people wondered why airport security allowed this person and her husband to board their flight instead of taking them into custody. According to reports, officers seized her bag and called police, but since airport security personnel are not officially police officers, they do not have the authority to make arrests. The flight left her and her husband on it before the police arrived. So I guess that was Whitney Houston. I guess she had drugs on her, but they couldn't do anything. That doesn't make sense to me. Screw it. Alright, Flavor Flav. Okay, the rap performer known as Flavor Flav was arrested in the South Bronx early Friday morning when he was found carrying 2 pounds of marijuana. The rapper, whose real name is William Drayton, stick to Flavor Flav, was riding a bicycle past the corner of 161st Street when 2 officers from the police department's street crime unit stopped him. They stopped him because his pocket was bulging and they thought he was carrying a weapon. Instead, they found he was carrying enough marijuana to be charged with a felony. This is in 1996 when Flavor Flav was 37. So I guess he was a drug mule on a bicycle. Well, it's a good thing that he started wearing clocks. Okay, the rapper Too Short. Law enforcement tells TMZ Too Short was pulled over in LA a couple hours ago for some traffic violation. And when cops approached the car, he appeared under the influence. Now here's where it gets weird. Police attempted to administer a breathalyzer test. And Too Short took off running, and he tripped as he ran down the street. Police caught up with him and put him under arrest. Okay, here's a comment. I saw a broken social scene about 10 years ago, and two of the guys couldn't make the show. Not that you could tell, because they decided to buy some weed in Washington Square, and the cops beat the hell out of them for resisting arrest. I'm not sure that's a strange, crazy, or funny story, but I'm not sure most of these are either, and wanted to share. That's some guy that makes sense. A lot of these stories are freaking terrible, and I'm sorry you had to listen to them, but hey, I didn't read them all before I did the show, but a lot of those stories were horrible, except for the Willie Nelson story was kind of cool, but the rest were pretty terrible. Let me put this thing down. Like I said, my feeling on 420 is have fun, enjoy your life. If you want to smoke weed, go ahead. If you want to walk on top of ducks, go ahead. As long as you don't, hurt them. I don't care what you do, as long as you have a good heart and you do it for the right reasons and you don't hurt any people. Then go ahead, smoke all the grass you want. Smoke up a whole field of grass, but just make sure you replant the grass after you smoke it. Like I said though, 420 it's a great holiday, and I think it should be a national holiday. And I think maybe I'll start a campaign. So if you feel the way I feel, you don't have to be a pothead, but if you feel the way I feel and feel like 420, it already is a holiday, so why not make it a national holiday? Send me an email at mondaymorningshow@gmail.com. That's mondaymorningshow@gmail.com. I can see the wave me off here. I could talk for hours, days, years, who knows, but they're waving me off, so I guess that's all the time I have. But there'll be another show next week, so stay tuned and keep on rocking. That's going to do it for the Monday Morning Show. I'm your host, Loquito. Thank you, and have one high of a night.